Hello everybody. As you all know, I am Evan and I'm back with your Monday's episode of The Den. Now there's something that you may have noticed. I have a new background! And that means that I've moved. Nothing too exciting, I just moved in with my best friend, but I'm really excited about it and I love it here. And he's also got this big old dog and he's so much fun and we're best buddies already and I love him. So this week the men from the Den are going to be dropping some knowledge. The theme is supposed to be back to school, but I'm going to be doing something a little bit more practical. So this is how to go on a first date. So first let's face some truths about the dating world these days, especially in the bear community because we're extremely spread out and sometimes kind of hard to find. Everything happens over the internet. Nobody actually goes on dates anymore. At least that's what it feels like. Online dating makes it easier to meet somebody than ever before, but oh my god, it is nowhere near as much fun and it is a sliver of what the actual visceral experience feels like. Sure, it's great to meet a new friend on the internet and chat for hours on end and laugh and get to know somebody, but that's not as much fun as actually going on a first date. I find that we spend so much time chatting online that by the time you actually get to some sort of date type scenario, you already know the person so well that the whole novelty of being nervous about going and hanging out with somebody you don't really know is completely diluted. So it seems that what's happening is people are meeting on the internet, chatting for hours, developing relationships that way, hanging out a couple times, and then bam, relationship. I say screw that, we can chat a little bit, but I want you to take me out on an actual date. And what's the easiest way to do that? Grow a pair and actually ask somebody. You would be surprised at how often I've run into situations where people will do whatever they have to and say whatever they have to avoid actually saying, hey, can I take you out on a date? If you're genuinely interested in somebody and you want to spend time with them, let them know that. That's as easy as saying, hey, I think you're cool and I want to spend time with you. What you want to avoid is something that I refer to as the hanging out problem, where you don't actually know whether you're on a real date or not. Sometimes people find themselves in this gray area where they don't actually know how romantic they're supposed to be, or if they're supposed to be a little guarded and reserved and try to play it cool, because they don't actually know the nature of the endeavor they're going on. What's the easiest way to deal with this issue? Say the word date. Yep, that's all it takes. One little word just makes all the difference. It's really easy. Once you agree to make plans and hang out, just say, it's a date. Problem solved. But then you have to actually figure out something to do. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I absolutely hate it when I ask somebody, where are we going? And they say, I don't know, wherever you want to go. It's indecisive, it's wishy-washy, and it doesn't make you look confident, which is the one thing that you want to convey if you're actually trying to pick this guy up. Get to know your town a little bit and pick a couple go-to spots. Because when you're choosing a date, it's the same rule as real estate. Location, location, location. Think of something that's gonna, create conversation, provide a distraction, give you guys something to do. And do not say dinner and a movie. Dinner and a movie is the worst first date ever. A, there's no better time to make a complete fool of yourself when you're jamming food into your face. B, you're stuck in a confined space, forced to create awkward small talk with somebody that you don't even know. Being restricted and in the spotlight consistently like that is going to make you nervous, absolutely. And also, sitting down at a table cuts off any sort of communication through body language. And then, when you get through dinner and you finally have a semblance of conversation going, you go and you sit in a dark room for 3 hours and you maybe hold hands. It's basic, it's tired, it's been done, and it's not effective. Some places that do make good first dates, mini putt is an awesome one, and it gives you something to do. You can talk about it, get a little competition going on, and you're moving around. And sometimes you can even be cheesy and pull the whole, oh, teach me how to putt shit. Going to play pool is another good one. You get a little bit of alcohol in you and take the edge off, and then it gives you something to do, even if you both suck at it. That just makes it more fun. Going to like a museum or an art gallery or something like that's also a really good idea, because it, again, creates conversation, gives you guys something to do and look at. And you can walk around and do things, and if you're feeling nervous, you can, subconsciously turn your body away, which is going to make you feel better, or you can look in another direction without it being super awkward. You're not confined to this little chair trying to sit there and be like, oh, I hope I'm not looking like an idiot. Which fork do I use? The beach also makes a surprisingly good first date. Hang out in the sun. It's also a way to get them to take their shirt off. And if you want to get all sappy with it, the beach is surprisingly romantic at night. It's actually really nice. Alright, so we have asked this guy out on an official date, and we are going to the perfect little spot that we've picked. And what are we going to do when we get there? Creating conversation. This is surprisingly difficult for a lot of people, I get it. People are shy, people are nervous, absolutely. You can largely blame that on the degradation of human communication through technological advances and its impact on our social skills. So if you're one of those people who gets real nervous or you're terrified of the awkward silence, then listen up. Because here's some tips on how to get a good conversation going. Easiest way to maintain conversation is to ask questions. It's pretty simple, but a lot of people are very bad at it. The truth is, everybody loves to talk about themselves. This fact is universal. So what you need to do is provide this guy the opportunity to talk about himself. Now, you don't want to interrogate him with question after question after question, but there's a really easy way to circumvent this. When he answers you, comment on it. If you've had a similar experience or can relate in some way, say so. Give your own response to the question that you just asked, or, give him something to play off of. Another really great way to keep a conversation going without somebody feeling interrogated is the question game. Pretty simple in its concept. Somebody asks the question, and then the other person answers it. The twist being you have to end your answer with another question. It can either be the same one or an entirely different one. This game is super simple and it sounds a little immature, but it totally works. There's the question game. There's Never Have I Ever. Never Have I Ever is pretty basic. All you do is you say something that you either have or have not done, and if you have done it, you either take a drink or signal somehow that that's what you've done. There's also Would You Rather. That one can be a lot of fun. The problem I've run into with Would You Rather is some people genuinely say that they suck at it and they just have a really hard time coming up with scenarios. In that case, I like to get silly, or I like to use stuff that's pretty basic to get it started, and then they get the ball rolling, and then they start to pick it up on their own. When it comes to telling stories, you want to be cautious about oversharing. Don't delve too deep into, emotional backstories. And do not talk about your exes. Tell some fun and crazy stories from your past. Or if you're gutsy, whip out some of the embarrassing ones. Those are even better. And if you're lucky enough that the guy you happen to be going out with is completely disarming you and you are totally flustered and have butterflies and that's a cute, amazing feeling that you should rock with, admit it. I can think of so many people that would love to hear something like that because it's sappy and cute and it's a true, honest statement, and people like seeing vulnerability like that. It's a sign of trust, and trust is a good thing. So, we are going on an actual date to an awesome place, and we're going to have a great conversation while we're there. We are fully prepared. Now, here's a couple quick other tips. This might seem obvious, but dress up. Please dress up. I've had guys take me on dates in work shoes or sweatpants. No, 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 no. If you don't have stuff, buy stuff. Because wearing something new makes you feel sexy and more confident. And that's good. We want that. And also, if you happen to be the one picking this guy up for the date, do not send the, "Oh, I'm here" text message. Fuck that. You get off your ass, you come to my front door, and you knock, because it's a gentleman thing to do. When you drop them off, walk them to the door. Yes, it's old school and cheesy. Whatever, man. Do it. It's nice. You wouldn't let your date walk home from the bar alone, so you're not going to let him walk home from your car alone. And if you so happen to find yourself in one of those awkward, do I kiss him, I don't know if I should kiss him situations, it's all about where he's looking. If you catch this guy glancing at your lips more than twice, you kiss him. Because that's what he's thinking about, and he wants to, and he wants you to, and he's nervous. Be conscious of your body language. Whether you realize it or not, humans communicate more through body language than they do their actual words. They even do this subconsciously. So, to present a welcoming figure, you want to be sitting upright, with your shoulders back. You want to think like you're almost balancing a book on your head. You do not want to cross your arms or stick your hands in your pockets. Think of being open like a satellite dish that's ready to receive everything that they are sending your way. You also want to try to find subtle ways to break the contact barrier. Don't make it too obvious that you're trying to touch them, but touch them. Even just a hand on the small of your back can say quite a bit. However, the absolute best tip that I can give you to get you a second date with this guy, you always need to leave them wanting more. So how do you pull this off? It's actually surprisingly easy. All you need to do is maintain an air of mystery. Don't play all of your cards. Play a little bit close to the chest and let them know that you're doing so. If they're interested, they will more actively pursue you to find more information. And also, do not put out. If you put out on a first date, the illusion of mystery is shattered. They've already got everything from you, so even if they are a respectful dude, the anticipation and the sexual tension is still nowhere near the same level. You gotta give it a little bit of time to foster. That's what really keeps them coming back. So that's about all that I've got for tips for today, but I think that you are all very qualified now to go and take somebody on a very romantic, successful first date. And once again, I always love hearing from you, so please feel free to leave me some comments down in the crotch there, or you can hit me up on the Den's Facebook page at facebook.com/menoftheden. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, that's youtube.com/menoftheden. The question that I'm going to leave you with today is, what is your favorite date spot? So that's all for now. Peace out, and good luck.